Come along with me. I have some books in the press that came in last night. And I'm going to do a kind of a repair on another book that I just got. So, but let's see what we got here. This book is a #1 from 1950 from Youthful Magazine. It had dog eared through half the book. They were pressed so hard, the dog ears, that it looked like it was actually razor cut. The corners all off, sheared. They were perfectly aligned. All of them dog eared and perfectly aligned. When I looked at it at first, I'm like, oh no, I thought they were actually cut. Thank goodness they weren't. And then it had more dog ears the rest of the way, but not quite as dramatic. So we pressed it out. It's going to need a clean. But here's the dog ears right here. I'm definitely going to have to press that again. But they're coming out. And I'll probably work on this next book with you and then press that one and put that into the cold press and then put this one back in the press. But it's looking nice. It's looking really nice. It needs to be cleaned up, so I'll probably do that before I press it again. Okay, so let's see what's in this one. Now, this next book is from 1953. It's a reprint. I try to do some research on the company that reprinted it and could not find anything on the internet. It's from 1953. I'm almost thinking that the original publisher was the one that reprinted it. So it's from Avon. It's a romance book. And it's going to need another press too. I got to flip it over and get it flatter. Detached cover. It's called Sparkling Love. And the cover is taped on the inside. I mean, this book is a super low grade. But it was 99 cents. And before I even bid on that, I checked around just to see how many of these were on eBay, and this was the only one. So it's really beautiful. The back is really white too. So that's going to need a repress also. I just put them in around 1 o'clock, so usually I'd like to keep them in longer than that. Okay, so these are some of the books from yesterday that came in. This here, let's check it out together. I haven't opened it. It's Best Western by Atlas, or Marvel, as they were called for a bit too at the time. It's low grade, and it's going to need some love, and it's going to need a press. So let me lower this camera and tilt it down. There we go. So from what I can gather, this is like the 4th appearance of Black Rider. This book was $9.99. And I looked at it and I thought, I can fix that up for 10 bucks. I didn't see another one of these on eBay or anywhere else on the internet for sale. So it didn't say the centerfold was missing, but you can see we got a big spine roll right there. So what I'm going to do is get a sip of hot cocoa. Okay, we find the centerfold on this thing. I think at the time that Black Rider might have been Atlas's answer to Ghost Rider from Magazine Enterprise. So we find the centerfold there, and it's attached. The book is attached. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on the press, heat it up a little bit. I'm going to flip this switch here. Now we're going to steam this book. That way, we try to flatten it out. It won't be brittle, and it won't crack or tear. And it'll be more pliable. We can work with it. So this is just a regular portable steamer I got from Walmart. Now I looked around town. Walmart has these for, they did when I bought it, for $14.99. And Bed Bath & Beyond has the same exact steamers for $19.99. So what do you need? For what we need here, we're going to need the press, the steamer, and you need parchment paper. This will keep the book from getting any damage in the heat. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to press it flat, completely flat, so we can see where we need to work with it. A lot of times if the spine is intact completely, I don't press it flat at all. I just go ahead and get the spine roll out and then put it in the press. So I'm going to steam that up right there. And don't worry, this steam, which is of course water vapor, is not going to harm the book at all. It's actually going to help it. Now this steamer is pretty old, so it shuts down, and I got to turn it off and turn it back on. So let me pause this for a minute. So I have a couple old t-shirt presses I got from a graphics design and printing shop off Craigslist. So they're also pretty old. I'm using some old equipment to do all this. So what I do with my press is I let it heat up a little bit and then I shut it off. You don't want to get the heat, you don't want to get the press like super hot, because that will ruin the book. Usually this will have to stay in the press for probably just a minute. So I got my parchment paper there. I'll put this down and then I want to unfold, pull everything out, flaps, everything. This cover has a flap right there that needs to be pushed out. If I can get it out, I might have to use a knife. See it. All right, here we go. Push that down. Get everything to lay flat. And I want to do this before the moisture dries. Put another parchment on it, and here we go. We're going to pause, and we're going to pull it out. It's only been like a minute. The reason I want to press it flat initially is so that I can see and make sure everything is lined up before I try to get the spine roll out of it. Because that's the next step. Now we're going to steam it again. You want to keep the book moist, just like anything. If it gets too dry, it'll be brittle, and you want to avoid that. So this is fun to do. Pick out the comic you want to do it to. You know, it's your collection. You know what you have. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to experiment. Realize that you could make mistakes. I've done plenty. It's all a learning process. If you have a book that you feel is too valuable that you're afraid to damage it, use it something else. Get a gold key funny animal book from the 70s, but avoid modern books, because they use books that have the newsprint pages. Let's just say that. Because when you're dealing with books and comics, majority of the time you're going to be, those are the ones that are going to be repaired. I'm pretty confident in what I'm doing now. but I've been doing this for about almost 3 years, experimenting and making mistakes. And you'll still make mistakes. Watch the videos on YouTube. I just watched Bubs. He had a really good one. Not on pressing, but on cleaning and repairing with tape. Collecting chaos is another good one for repairs. Okay, well, I'm going to try to get that spine roll out of it now. So we're going to bring the camera a little bit closer. What I'm going to do is line this up with my parchment paper. I have it down the center, folded. You take this over like this. Pick this up and line it up till it's straight. I can't do it the other way. I've always done it this way. I don't know if you can see it. So what I'm doing is I'm lining that up as straight as I can get it. Then you're gonna work down the spine. So that's lined up. Make sure all the way. It's easy to have them not aligned all the way, and then it comes out crooked. Okay, so that's there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really easily work this down. You don't want to do this fast because, like I said, you can pop the spine. So I'm pushing it down real easy. Just like you're massaging the book. Now you go back to the beginning of the video and look at it and see what the book looked like when we pulled it out of the thing. So I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over now, and this will tighten up all these loose pieces and make them conform once you press it. Keep it tight, don't let it slip. Kind of keep working on it. You're not going to get it by hand. You're going to need this press here. So now I got it real tight. I got it where I want it to go. Now I'm going to put it in here and let it sit for a few minutes. All right, we're back. Buster just came in asking for his morning treat. All right, so let's see where we're at on this book. It looks pretty good from here. We're going to have to work on it a little bit because it looks like I'm off. I don't know if it's maybe it's not because I look straight here and it looks fine. Here the spine, the whiteness is thinner here and thicker at the top. So let me look at the back. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. Compared to what it was. Let's see here. It looks pretty good. I didn't split the spline or anything. I mean, that looks great. I'm gonna put it now. I'm gonna press it for reels, and it's gonna look a whole lot better. So how would I do that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find me. Okay. Yeah. So you get a piece of backing board. Now you gotta find your centerfold again. Where are you, centerfold? Yeah, there's a centerfold. You're going to put this in here. And this, what this does when you press it, is it keeps from popping the staples. Keeps that little bit of a loop in the center of the book. So we press it one more time. And a book like this, if I'm not selling it, I'm mostly concerned with pressing the front, making it look really nice and presentable. So I'll make sure I get enough steam on the front. Be careful, this thing is, you can burn yourself so easy. That back looks pretty clean. A lot of people say, you know, clean the book before you put it in the press. I like to clean it afterwards because it's flatter. I can work with it without damaging it. I have the tears and the rips all conform to the spine and everything like that. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back in here. And we're going to put it in the press for a couple minutes. And then we're going to put it in the cold press overnight. So then I take a backing board like this. Put that over the top. Bring it down. And voila, we're going to leave that in there for a few more minutes. Alright, so I'm actually watching DS Comics right now. He's pressing a book. So I've had this in here for 2 minutes. My heat is really low. If your heat is too high, what you can do is end up damaging the brightness of the colors of the inks on the cover. You can dull them. I've done that, believe me, and it's disappointing when the book comes out. So low heat is the best. So I always release this slow because sometimes things will stick to the top. Like that board just did. So now all I'm going to do is just transfer this over to the cold press. Over here. And I got both of these presses for, I think I paid $50 each for them. Now supposedly this one of the quadrants doesn't work. I've never used it for heat pressing. Actually, I think I may have when I first got it. But I decided, hey, why not just use it for the cold press, and I can do another book and leave that one in here and do 2 books at a time. So I noticed that on here, you can see where the plate is. So that's where most of the pressure is going to be. So I try to center the book under that. And then use a backing board. This is a magazine size. I also got poster board here. I cut squares out of. You can get that at the Dollar Tree for 50 cents, I think. I'll make sure that covers the whole book. I'll put the camera down just so I can make sure that it's covering the whole book. Yeah. And then we press this down. Okay, so that will stay there. I'll probably, what time is it now? It's 9 o'clock here. So midnight will be, well, I'll probably take it out around midnight or maybe 10 o'clock. So we're ready to take this back out of the press and check it out and see if we were able to improve this book at all. So I'm going to turn the camera here so I can kind of show you a little bit better. So here we go. Remember we had a spine roll in it. I think it came out pretty good. How nice and smooth and shiny it is. The spine roll is out of it. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot better than it looked before. Remember, we had a loose curl on the spine, and we tightened that all up, and I think we did a great job. So tell me what you think. Is it worth investing in a press? I think it is. Thank you for watching.